Hey, welcome back. This is Watertown 365. We have news about the Fall Festival planning, about the streetscape work that is progressing, about wildlife management areas that are open for annual visitation. So let's talk about local businesses in Watertown. Let's talk about some fun events happening in Watertown. We will begin talking about how the Downtown Business Association is keeping busy with fall festival planning and new projects. The president of the Downtown Business Association says the group hasn't been this busy since before the COVID-19 pandemic began. They're working on several projects at the same time, and they are all these projects that are happening locally are to get an inviting, dynamic, and sustainable business district. So what kind of local projects are we talking about? Well, there is a maker's market, which is a kind of craft market. They are going to have an annual fall festival. So mark your calendar, October 8th, which is moving to the Veterans Memorial Riverwalk, and they've begun a massive mural gallery along the retaining wall, which we can see pictured here. The festival will celebrate local arts in Watertown, and basically the goal or the idea or the look or the vision is to go through a sort of renaissance in the downtown area. They're conducting surveys to see what kind of new businesses and restaurants that the public wants to see downtown. And this local arts fall festival has craft vendors, has food, has music, has street artists, all to kind of converge at the city-owned park overlooking the Black River. So there seems to be a plan, there seems to be all these things happening. So when we kind of report every week how they're restoring this, they're renovating that, they're building that, there's just this ongoing effort that's underway to try to make downtown Watertown really cool and really unrecognizable and really kind of brought back to life and refreshed, especially post-pandemic. And so there's a lot to list, a lot to talk about, but that's what it is. It's a list, right? There is the work on the historic Paddock Arcade that began this week. The YMCA's $27 million Aquatic Center project is underway. A $3.6 million streetscape project along Court Street and sections of Franklin and Coffeen Street. And so there's so much going on. So I guess what's the moral of the story that we're looking at here? Well, the moral of the story is if you're mad or you're inconvenienced by construction, or you're saying like, oh man, it seems like so much is changing. Well, there's this vision to have this kind of Black River area downtown renaissance. And so it's pretty cool, right? There's lots of little projects happening. So let's talk about some of those projects. Next, we're going to talk about Lachenauer Plaza. And this will be more than just a nice place to gather after the downtown urban park reopens. As part of the city's $3.6 million streetscape project. They are envisioning how this plaza will look new and refreshed. The new plaza was purposely designed to make it safer for people to use it. It will be more open. They will remove shrubs and replace them with small trees. There will be a semicircle brick wall with benches, improved lighting, and the grassy area, and a small fountain. So they're going to be, if you ever driven by this area or this looks familiar to you, this little plaza, they have these concepts in mind for the rebuilding, the redoing, the refreshing, the new version: natural surveillance, access control, and territorial reinforcement. Those are, I guess, the key words that they are putting in their mind as they are planning and building these things. So there's work on widening sidewalks, enhancing crosswalks, improving lighting, planting new trees. So there's this $10 million downtown revitalization initiative that was awarded in 2017. A Syracuse developer plans to restore the Globe building at 302 Court Street and plans to add upstairs apartments in 2 other nearby buildings. And then on the other side of Public Square, there's work on another component of the streetscape project where new sidewalks and new curbing will be installed. And so the city was awarded funding from what's called, I guess, DRI, and there's American Rescue Plan Act funds. There's funding from a $250,000 grant from National Grid. So these city planners, I guess, have done their due diligence and applied for this grant and gotten this national and this state funding to make it all come together to improve what needs improving. So that way you don't just have an old, tired, crumbling town. You have something that's been refreshed and even something that's new and kind of always kind of being built up to something better. And so now that, since that's our theme of today's discussion, is all these builds and these improvements, let's talk about that weather vane project at First Baptist Church. So we've talked, I think, about this old church where there's parts of it that they want to remove, like there's the clock, I think, and the weather vane. But at First Baptist Church, they have had plans to remove the weather vane at the very top. And they were going to close the east end of Public Square at 7 a.m. Wednesday to allow 2 cranes to remove the weather vane, but it was delayed. They will be rescheduling, but they're not sure for when. The work was even before then scheduled for July 15th, but the crane operating company did not get the necessary crew to the city at that time. But this time this week, the issue was a mechanical one with one of the cranes. And so at some point, whenever they get their ducks in a row, whenever the weather permits, the closing of the street permits, the people permit, the equipment permits, whenever they get it all to converge, then the weather vane will be taken down and repaired at Converse Welding and then eventually placed back on top of the church. So again, if you say, oh, my precious old town, they can't remove that weather vane, don't worry. They're taking it down so that way they can fix it. That way it will last even longer, and then they will replace it back on top. And it won't be some replacement or some new one. It will be the same old one, just repaired and put back on top of that church. So don't worry if you're wondering, why is the street closed? What's this heavy equipment? Why are they taking it down? It's temporary, and they will replace it back on top. And let's also talk about wildlife, because so it's one thing to talk about like the urban area and what they're building and constructing and, you know, metal and buildings, but how about nature? How about those wildlife areas where you want to get away from it all, as they say, but you don't want to drive to the middle of nowhere. You want to be somewhere close by. So that's why, wildlife preserves and state parks and things like that are helpful. So people wanting to explore outdoor areas in Jefferson and St. Lawrence counties have an annual opportunity to do so at otherwise restricted wildlife management areas through the end of the month. There will be a 16-day window from sunrise to sunset at Upper and Lower Lakes and Wilson Hill WMAs, that's wildlife management areas in St. Lawrence County. So I guess I'll pull the article here so we can look together at what's open when. There's the Perch River of over 8,000 acres, Upper and Lower Lakes Wildlife Management Area, 8,700 acres, the Wilson Hill Wildlife Management Area along the St. Lawrence River. There are several large pools of open water marsh bordered by a combination of dense cattails, brushy wetlands, forest, and upland meadows. Wilson Hill is 4,000 acres. Fishing will be allowed, but use of motorized boats is not. Fishing is not allowed in Nichols Pool in the Wilson Hill Wildlife Management Area. So we rattled off a lot of things, but the place for you to look all this up is their website. It's a long one, sort of, dec.ny.gov/outdoor/8282.html. And my suggestion on how to find this is I would look up Western Adirondacks WMAs, maybe Region 6. I almost guarantee Googling that will land you on this page. And you can look at this kind of interesting map here, right? And you can see about the regions and what's open and what's there to do. Because it's one thing for me to list off ideas and locations, but what helps you more is seeing the map. And you can click around and say, oh, you know what? I've I've been in this area, but not that one. And so you can just click on one of these areas and see what you're getting yourself into, seeing what it looks like, seeing if what kind of wildlife you could expect, fishing, if there's hunting, and then like hunting and trapping seasons, directions to get there. So if you're one of those people that says, I don't know what to do this weekend or what to do with the kids or this summer or something, well, maybe consider checking out one of these wildlife management areas because it's closer than you think, and it's almost like going into the middle of nowhere, and you can just pop in and have your quick fix of nature and then pop back out and head right back home. Now, speaking of heading right back home, how about Roger's Hometown Pizzeria? And they've been renamed to Myers Pizza, so we can go to, and Myers Pizza in particular has a better Facebook presence than a website presence. And the most convenient way to go to it, to find them, is to go to Facebook, search for Myers Pizza. There's Myers Pizza. So what's cool about them is they have such a variety of pizzas, and they do a thing every week, I believe, where you can guess what their new special pizza is coming up, and even if you're a little bit off, not quite on exactly the right guess, then you can still win this prize. You can still win a free pizza. And what's really cool is that they have such creative variety of these pizzas, and even if you don't guess quite correctly, the guesses in the comments are crazy, and you think, man, I should look into that sort of weird specialty pizza, weird in a good way. So we have a Moroccan spiced lamb on top of a yogurt pesto sauce, mozzarella cheese, fire roasted artichokes and tomatoes, red onion, and feta cheese. It sounds like something you've never had before, right? So that's one of the pizzas they have had recently. Let's look at it. So so what happened was with this last contest, here's what I'm talking about. They say, guess what kind of pizza we have, and the correct answer was Moroccan spiced lamb, but the other guesses were Reuben pizza, spinach and artichoke, meatball and basil pizza, BLT pizza, breakfast pizza, Philly cheesesteak pizza, surf and turf, chicken parm. So imagine this. Imagine if you clicked on that like button. So you go to facebook.com/Myers Pizza. You click on the like button, that way it's liked, and you keep an eye out once a week when they do their contest, and you just, how quick would it be for you to just leave that quick comment? And what if you had a couple of friends or family members that also left their own creative, unique, different every week type of pizza comments? You could really hedge your bets, and you could really have a good chance of winning yourself a free pizza just by participating once per week and seeing what they have. So before that, Myers Pizza had bacon mac and cheese. They have had a classic Italian combo with red sauce, mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, salami, ham, red onion, banana peppers, black olives with a red wine vinegar aioli. Crazy stuff, amazing stuff. Queso nachos with crispy fried pork belly, black beans, tomatoes, green onions, and jalapenos with a side of sour cream. This is what you're missing out on if you are not checking out Myers Pizza. So go to facebook.com/Myers Pizza. There they have the post. There they have the phone number. And then on the sidebar here, there's the menu. And you can click on View Menu, and you can go to full screen and maybe zoom in a little bit and see about, they have like the Wild Boar, the Jolly Rogers. That's how you can check out the menu of Myers Pizza. Myers Pizza only serves the best pizza and wings in town. Myers takes pride with their finest ingredients. Their dough is hand-stretched daily. The secret recipe pizza sauce is mixed fresh every day. Your pizza crusts come in traditional or thick upon request. That's Myers Pizza over on 4 West Church Street in Adams, New York. We also want to mention Storage Made Easy in Evans Mills, New York. We go to Storage Made Easy. Not sure if the .com is what we want. Storage. Yes, that's it. Okay, perfect. So, storagemadeeasy.com is just gets you right to the page. Even though once you get there, it's a big long link, but storagemadeeasy.com gets you there. 315-627-6447. KO Storage, or also known as Storage Made Easy, provides streamlined storage solutions in Evans Mills. Whether you're looking for a self-storage unit to store your valuable personal belongings or managing logistics for your business, chances are pretty good that you want to avoid dealing with unexpected hassles and surprises. Long wait times, poor or offensive customer service are just a few of the things you need to be concerned about. Storage Made Easy is your complete resource for home or business self-storage near Watertown, New York. And speaking of Watertown, New York, we would be appreciative if you went on over to Watertown365.com, because when you go there, you can see that new glasses allow deaf people to see conversations by turning audio into subtitles. What a time to be alive. There's a homeless center opening on Watertown's North Pleasant Street. There is news about how snacking on grapes may add 4 to 5 years to lifespans of those who regularly eat fast food. There is a building on Court Street called the Globe Building, which they're looking into for apartments and commercial space. 13 or 14 market rate apartments, about 14,000 square feet of commercial space. There is news about Watertown schools with a new safety system for visitor check-ins. No more pen and paper. All that and more at Watertown365.com. And then when you're there, there's a Facebook. There's many ways to get to it. You click on that, and that will take you to Facebook.com/Watertown365, where you can see about how there's the stand-up show we've mentioned before in Sackett's Harbor. We have news about International Bow Day. There is National Fajita Day. And one more for the road, we have National Nonprofit Day. So go there now, Facebook.com/Watertown365, Watertown365.com. There's always something new happening in town, even if it's something as mundane as construction or the wildlife areas you can visit, or local businesses, or some little fun activities for the family and the kids. There's always something happening. Don't tell me there's nothing to do around town. Watertown 365. We will see you very soon. We will see you later with more updates about ways to keep you entertained and fulfilled and excited. So keep tuning in so that way you know about what you need to know all around town. Watertown365.com. Talk to you very soon.